We are talking about el imperfecto. Profe, I've never heard that word before. You're right. It's brand new. Okay, the imperfect tense talks about what happened repeatedly in the past. Past tense we know so far is preterite. Now we have to start distinguishing between preterite and imperfect because they both talk about the past. So the preterite is something that happened, boom, done. I can put it on a dot on a timeline. It started, it stopped, it's over. That's your yellow sheet. Now the imperfect is a little more floofy. Okay? It's in and out of the past. It describes what someone used to do, meaning that it happened habitually, it happened often, it happened occasionally. There wasn't an exact point where I could start the timer, stop the timer, and the action was over. This started in the past, maybe ended in the past, maybe is still happening. We don't really know, and in Spanish, we also don't really care. So here's how you're going to form it. It works like any other verb. We drop the AR, add an ending. Drop the ER, add an ending. For AR verbs, aba, abas, aba, abamos, aban. Notice the yo form and the el, ella, usted are the same. So that's easy for us to remember, but when we're writing, we might have to include more often the subject pronoun. We might have to include yo to Lenovo really wants me to update stuff. Really, so we might have to include the yo, the el, the ella, the usted more often when we're writing. Also notice in the AR verbs, there's only one with an accent, and that's abamos. It's because it's abamos. 3 syllables, so we want to emphasize the right syllable. ER verbs, they all have the accent on the I. Ia, ias, ia, iamos, ian. Notice in both of these charts, it follows the same patterns as we usually see. For example, the to form here usually adds an S. The eos, ustedes usually has an N added onto the end. We know nosotros usually sounds like mos. So we can look at the patterns that we already know and follow those patterns we have already seen. These expressions, when we use them, often are followed by the imperfect. So generalmente, generally. Generally, we used to ride our bikes to school. Or often, a menudo. Often, we would walk to school. That's implying that it happened more than once. And it doesn't give me a specific time phrase. It doesn't say on June 1st, I walked to the swimming pool. It just says often. When did often start? When did often end? Don't really know. Don't really care. So these phrases will be important for you to look at. So make sure you write these down, and good luck on the imperfect.